Oh, hey guys, hey, Michael Kincaid, thanks for stopping by and checking out another Mavic video. Gotta keep my voice down because I'm actually at work, and the boss thinks I'm actually working, but I'm actually trying to plan a Litchi point of interest flight with a Mavic that we have back here. See, it looks like, this is what I love about the Mavic. You can just take it anywhere. It looks like it's in, for all they know, it's my lunch. So anyhow, we'll go to a screen recording. Again, this is the Litchi app on the point of interest, and the more I dive into the Litchi app, the more I'm liking it for the Mavic. But check it out. We'll go to the screen recording now on this, show you how to set it up. Where we're going to fly at is about 15 miles down the road, but I can go ahead and input the point of interest and set all my the radius around it. But anyhow, enough of that. And I can do all that before I actually go out to the field to fly. So you can set it all up prior to, which makes it very cool. So we'll go to the screen recording now, check it out, and we'll follow up with some field testing. We got the screen recording app running. Now we will go into the Litchi app. We'll go ahead and get off this welcome screen. And the Mavic's not fired up, of course, but we'll go ahead and switch over to Google Maps here. And I am now actually at my office here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, as you can see there. So what I am wanting to do is, and it's going to, just bear with me, give me a second, because it's going to take for me a second to find it. Let's go down 75, get off on Old Lee Highway, Little Debbie Parkway. Here's the ball fields. We'll zoom in, keep zooming in. Alright, Veterans Memorial Park, Collegedale. Let's see how accurate this will be. This is going to be interesting. So I want to go ahead and hit our FPV button. Go ahead and hit our orbit. Simply tap where we want the orbit to happen. So now the settings on this, go ahead and tap where the photograph picture is, the blue icon, blue and white. That'll give your orbit settings. So altitude set at 101. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it there. I'm not sure how that flag is, and it'll probably just be on the safe side. I want to make sure I'm clearing all the trees and everything else out there. A radius at 68 feet, which we'll go ahead and bring that in a little bit. Again, so 52 feet should be a pretty decent radius. We'll bump that to 55. And we want this, and I wish they gave you the speed, but it just gives you 1 minute interval. That should move along fairly decent. We can actually speed it up a little bit. 45 seconds, 51 seconds is fine. Entry point north. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but it has to do, I guess, where it starts at or comes in, I'm not sure. But heading mode, I want it to be in the center. So at this point you can choose whether or not you want your camera to be facing center or outwards, or just user controlled, or along the circle backwards. So we're going to just do center. We'll go ahead and keep the direction clockwise. Alright, gimbal control. I keep it to manual because if you do auto, now if you know what your subject height is, then exactly, so you so it gets a little bit skewed to where, you know, you got to know exactly the subject height, how far out you are to where it will pan down on its own to capture your subject. So it's easier just to go ahead and do all the auto, just do that manual and let everything else do its auto settings and go from there. Okay, cool. The bottom left button with the downward arrow. Enter file name. Let's do flag. Orbit. Done. Okay. Okay. So that flight is saved. So from this point, we will, and you can see where that is in relation to where we are, which is way over here. So we're going to get in our little car and we're going to drive over there here in just a little bit, and I'll go ahead and fire everything up, hit start, and hopefully this thing should orbit as we have inputted it. Alright guys, I have just now left the office from Chattanooga, heading to Ottawa to go orbit the flag and all the inputs that we have put on the Litchi app for the Orbit. So hopefully we can just show right up, get the Mavic fired up, fire the Litchi app up, go into Orbit, hit start, and it should do its own thing. Alright guys, Michael Kincaid. Hey, we are at Veterans Park, so we're going to do this Orbit real quick. As you can see, the big flag above us, that's the one we're going to orbit. Let's go ahead and switch over to Google Maps here. And right there is where we have designated our, we went ahead and set our points up and all our inputs there earlier at the office in Chattanooga. So we will go ahead and first go into your top left screen, FPV. We're going to go into Orbit. Now your where we saved the Orbit, hit your arrow up out of that little tray looking box. We'll hit Flag Orbit and load. Boom, there it is. Okay, so we'll go in and just check our settings, like I say, just to check them, make sure. So altitude 101, radius 55. So everything looks fantastic there. So I'm gonna, now you do have to get the Mavic up in the air, so we'll go ahead and get that going. And that beeping here is the obstacle avoidance. So at this point we'll go ahead and hit start. Oh, because it was in sport mode. You can't have it in sport mode. Go ahead and load the flag. Hit start. So now you see it is getting into position, we hope. Now the one thing I didn't know was that it said it's going to fly in from the north. So it is, I guess, getting into position, flying in from possibly the north. So it'll rotate around. I'm not touching any controls. I am adjusting the camera angle because we did tell it we wanted to do a manual. And look at that, a beautiful, oh wow, look at that shot.
Recording started.
Wow, check that out guys. All right, make sure it's not gonna hit that flag, and it's not. Oh, but it was it was close. Go ahead and tap to center focus there. Actually, we'll tap and focus on the flag. That is the one thing with the Litchi app. I need to assign the C1 button. It was automatically defaulted in on the DJI Go app. But there, so far it is working beautifully. We set our Litchi, we set this all up back at the office 15 miles away. And it is orbiting perfectly. I am tapping to focus there, as you can see. And that is where Litchi has nailed this app. And I'm gonna hope that I'm backing it up. That flag is whipping a little bit. So it's good to know that you are able to manually adjust it while it's in flight. So now I guess it has set that radius outside a little bit further. You got a pause button over on the left. I guess that will stop it when we're done. Again, I'm going to go ahead and let this thing orbit one more time. But yeah, we won't talk through all this. Beautiful, beautiful shot. All right, we'll go ahead and hit our stop button. Orbit has stopped. So at that point, that was a successful orbit. Very impressed with the Litchi app. So pleased that you can just actually set all that up way ahead of time. You don't have to go above it. I'll link in the description below. I've done a point of interest, as I believe they call it, in the DJI Go app. I did a tutorial on that, so check that out. Thanks again, guys, for watching this video. More Mavic stuff to come. We're going to test out some filters that I've got on the way. I've actually got a mashup of just a lot of, because you guys haven't really seen the footage that I've been filming with this thing yet. It's all been screen recordings and stuff like that. So that is coming up. Bad news is, when I first got the Mavic, about 15 days into it, all the footage I'd taken I had lost due to a hard drive failure, which sucked. So I've had to go out and wait for weather to clear up. So anyhow, blah, blah, blah. I'm rambling on. Thanks again. Check it out. I've linked the DJI point of interest below. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, do so already, and we will see you in the next video.